You don't need words to know when a woman truly likes you, because when a woman feels something real, her entire energy shifts. She doesn't walk toward you the same. She doesn't look at you the same. She doesn't even breathe around you the same. You see, when a woman genuinely likes a man, her greeting alone will speak volumes, not in dramatic ways, not in obvious declarations, but in the quiet subtleties that only the emotionally intelligent notice. Let me break it down for you. When a woman likes you, her greeting will be laced with warmth. It's not just hey, it's how her eyes pause on you for that extra moment. It's the soft lift in her voice when she says your name like it's sacred. It's the way her face lights up as if seeing you just made her day better, and maybe it did. There's a difference between a woman being polite and a woman being drawn to you. If you pay attention, you'll notice she doesn't just say hello, she connects. She leans in slightly when she greets you, not because she wants something from you, but because she feels safe in your presence. Her body language opens, her shoulders relax, there's a softness, a surrender. Because when a woman likes a man, even her guard steps aside for a moment, without her knowing it. When she greets you, there's intention in her presence. Her phone disappears. Her attention is undivided. She's not distracted because you are the moment. She doesn't greet you like she greets everyone else. She doesn't just wave and keep walking. She pauses, she gives you time, she offers her attention. And not because she's trying to win you, but because your energy has already won her. That's the secret. When a woman truly likes a man, she's not trying to impress him. She's just being her softest, most radiant self around him. And men who are emotionally intelligent, they notice, they know the difference between a generic hey and a hi that carries a spark. They know the difference between courtesy and chemistry. Her greeting will carry a subtle flirtation, but not in a forced or exaggerated way. It's in the little things. She tucks her hair behind her ear when she sees you. She gives you that half smile, the kind that's sincere but slightly nervous. She might even fidget with her hands or her jewelry, because something about your presence stirs her feminine essence. And that's not something she can fake. She doesn't greet you with her ego. She greets you with her femininity. When a woman likes you, she greets you like you matter. She won't always come out and say, I like you. But she'll greet you like you're safe, like you're seen, like you're special. Because deep down you are. Now listen carefully. A woman who likes you will show it in a way that's graceful, never desperate. She doesn't need to be loud about it, because attraction at a soulful level doesn't scream. It whispers. It's in the way her tone softens when she speaks to you. It's in the way she slows down when you enter the room. It's in the little inside jokes, the playful teasing, the shy glances. It's in how she remembers the things you told her, even when you thought she wasn't listening. And if you're a man who's not emotionally numb, you'll feel it, because no one greets you the way she does. And if you're a woman listening to this, then understand something vital. How you greet a man says everything about how you feel about him. Don't fake it, don't force it, but if you truly like him, let your eyes tell the truth. Let your energy be real, because your smile, your softness, your tone, they are your introduction before words ever land. A woman in her feminine energy doesn't chase, she magnetizes. She doesn't run after attention. She makes people feel seen in her presence. When she likes a man, she makes him feel chosen, without a single word of confession, only with a look, a hello, and a presence that says, you matter here. So next time you wonder if a woman really likes you, don't overthink it. Watch how she greets you, because a woman can say 1,000 things with just her smile and tell her whole story with just one glance. And the man who is truly aware will hear every word of it without her needing to speak at all. There is a moment in every woman's life when she has to wake up and realize that her energy is not an unlimited resource. That just because she can show up for everyone doesn't mean she should. That not every person who wants her attention deserves her presence, because your energy is not free. It's not public property. It's not up for grabs to whoever decides to knock on your emotional door. Your energy, your time, your effort, your love, your focus is sacred, and you need to start treating it that way. Let me be blunt, not everyone deserves access to you. Just because someone wants your help, your listening ear, your emotional labor, that doesn't mean they're entitled to it. Just because someone feels entitled to your time doesn't mean you owe it. And just because you've given it freely in the past doesn't mean you have to keep handing it out like candy to people who have shown you time and time again that they're only here to take. So many of us were raised to be good girls. Be polite, be helpful, be understanding. We were taught to make room, to soften our tone, to take care of people, even when those people make us feel small, drained, unappreciated, or invisible. But being a good person does not mean being a doormat. Being kind does not mean being used. There is nothing noble about depleting yourself for people who do not replenish what they take. You are not obligated to keep giving pieces of yourself to people who wouldn't even notice if you were gone. And yet, that's what so many of us do. We hand out our energy like we're running on a never-ending supply. We answer texts we don't have the emotional capacity to respond to. We go to events we don't want to attend just to keep the peace. We stay in conversations that exhaust us. We keep pouring into people who leave us empty, and then we wonder why we feel so anxious, so resentful, so disconnected from ourselves. Here's the truth. When you allow just anyone to have access to you, you end up diluting the very thing that makes you powerful. Your energy is what makes you magnetic. It's what makes you effective. It's what allows you to build, create, love, lead. And when you spread it thin across people who drain you, manipulate you, or only reach out when they need something, you don't have enough left for the things and people that actually matter. You don't have to be accessible 24/7. You don't have to answer every call, reply to every message, explain yourself to every critic. You don't have to keep relationships alive that make you feel like you're constantly proving your worth. You don't have to keep entertaining people who don't respect your time, your boundaries, your soul. You don't have to feel guilty for protecting yourself from the people who only show up to benefit themselves. And I know what you might be thinking, but I don't want to be rude. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want them to think I don't care. But what about you? What about your feelings? What about your needs? What about your peace? Every time you prioritize someone else's comfort over your own well-being, you teach yourself that you don't matter, that their emotions matter more than your mental health, that their approval is more important than your boundaries. That is a lie, and the more you believe it, the more you will keep betraying yourself. Not everyone is meant to have a front row seat in your life. Some people are meant to be background characters, maybe not because they're bad, but because they're not aligned with who you are anymore. You grow, and not everyone grows with you. You evolve, and not everyone wants to rise with you, and that's okay. But what's not okay is keeping people around just to avoid discomfort, just to avoid the sting of confrontation, just to avoid being labeled as difficult or cold. There is nothing cold about choosing yourself. There is nothing mean about saying no. There is nothing selfish about deciding that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on people who do not appreciate it. Self-respect means understanding that you don't owe anyone constant access to your mind, your heart, or your time. It means recognizing when someone is using your kindness, when someone is treating your compassion like a commodity. It means learning to close the door when someone refuses to walk through it with care. You don't need to explain why you're unavailable. You don't need to justify why you're distancing yourself. Your peace is reason enough. Your healing is reason enough. Your boundaries are reason enough. You don't need to burn yourself out just to maintain relationships that would collapse the minute you stopped giving. And if someone gets offended by your self-respect, They were never in it for the right reasons to begin with. Think about all the times you've ignored that gut feeling, that internal whisper that said, "This person is not good for me," that voice that said, "I'm tired of being the one who cares more," that moment when you knew you should walk away, hang up, go silent, but didn't. And then you paid the price in stress, in confusion, in tears. That's what happens when we give access to people who don't value the privilege of having us. You are not an emotional service provider. You are not on call for people who only notice your presence when they need something. You don't need to keep being the strong one, the fix-it person, the one who shows up again and again, even when they never do. You are allowed to pull back. You are allowed to unplug. You are allowed to disconnect from people who only create noise in your life but never bring clarity. Your presence is a gift, and gifts should be given with intention, not obligation. If someone has shown you repeatedly that they cannot be trusted with your time, your energy, your heart, believe them, believe their patterns, stop making excuses for them, stop rewriting the narrative. People show you who they are, not with their words, but with their consistency or lack of it. And if someone is only consistent in causing you emotional chaos, the best response is not another conversation. It's distance. Let me be clear, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about realizing that your energy shapes your life, and the people you give that energy to either support your growth or stunt it. They either inspire you or drain you. They either love you for who you are or for what you give. You get to decide who stays in your circle. You get to choose who has access to your heart. Not everyone should have access to your story, to your dreams, to your vulnerability, to your love. These are precious parts of you. They are meant to be protected, not put on display for people who don't value them. And protecting your energy doesn't mean isolating yourself from love. It means making space for healthy love, for mutual love, for love that respects your boundaries instead of testing them. Start checking the receipts. Start evaluating your emotional bank account. Who's been withdrawing without depositing? Who leaves you feeling better and who leaves you feeling worse? Who supports your evolution and who resents it? You are not required to keep relationships going just because they've existed for a long time. Longevity does not equal loyalty, and proximity does not equal intimacy. If someone's presence in your life is costing you your peace, your confidence, your clarity, it's too expensive and it's time to cut the cord. That doesn't mean you're bitter. It means you're brave. It means you've decided to stop watering relationships that don't water you back. It means you finally believe that you are worthy of more than being someone's emotional convenience. You owe it to yourself to protect your light. You owe it to yourself to choose people who choose you back. You owe it to yourself to stop shrinking just to make room for people who are unwilling to grow. You owe it to yourself to take your energy back from the people, the habits, the distractions that have been stealing it for too long. Because your energy is not a free-for-all, it is a sacred resource, and not everyone deserves access to it. Let's stop waiting. Stop waiting for things to calm down. Stop waiting for someone else to change. Stop waiting for closure, for the apology, for the day everything makes sense. Stop waiting for the job to be easier, the relationship to suddenly get better, the chaos to clear up. Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Peace isn't something that just lands in your lap when life finally goes your way. Peace is not a destination. Peace is a decision. You don't find peace when your circumstances change. You create peace in how you respond to them. It's not passive, it's active. It's not what happens to you. It's what you choose within you. We have this false belief that peace is the result of everything outside of us lining up perfectly, that it'll show up when the kids are less demanding, when the bills are paid, when the relationship isn't rocky, when our past doesn't hurt as much, when our job doesn't exhaust us. And so we live in this mental waiting room, hoping peace will call our name when everything feels less overwhelming. But here's what no one taught us growing up. If you keep waiting for peace to come from the outside, you'll never actually feel it. You'll always be at the mercy of what other people say and do. You'll always feel unstable when life doesn't go as planned. You'll always be one situation away from unraveling. That's not peace, that's dependency. Real peace isn't fragile like that. Real peace is built, it's chosen, it's protected. It's maintained by the way you think, the way you set boundaries, the way you don't let chaos live rent free in your mind. You can be in a storm and still have peace. You can have people misunderstand you and still be grounded. You can walk away from drama and not feel guilty. You can hear the noise, the negativity, the tension, and not absorb it. That's the kind of peace we're after, the kind you own, not borrow. And owning it means you don't hand it over just because someone else is upset. You don't surrender it just because someone disrespects you. You don't abandon it just because your feelings are hurt. Peace doesn't mean nothing gets to you. It means you don't let what gets to you control what you do next. It means you pause, you breathe, you decide. You don't react. You respond. You choose what serves your sanity, not what feeds your ego. Too many people are trying to fix everything around them to feel better inside. Let me tell you, controlling everything doesn't bring peace. Letting go does. You don't get peace from micromanaging your partner, your friends, your co-workers, your kids. You don't get peace by pleasing everyone until you're exhausted and resentful. You don't get peace by avoiding conflict and swallowing your truth just to keep the illusion of harmony. That's not peace, that's performing. Peace requires honesty. It requires saying, "This doesn't work for me." It requires walking away when you'd rather cling. It requires making hard choices like ending a toxic friendship, cutting off a draining pattern, or standing up for yourself when your voice shakes. Because the peace you feel after honoring yourself, after speaking your truth, after holding a boundary, after letting go of something heavy, that peace is earned and it's real. Stop tying your peace to things you can't control. People are unpredictable. Circumstances shift. Life throws curveballs you never saw coming. But your response, your focus, your energy, that's your domain, that's your power. You get to choose what you carry. You get to choose what gets your attention. You get to choose what kind of life you build with your thoughts, your habits, your environment. So what are you choosing right now? Are you choosing drama because it's familiar? Are you choosing tension because you've never experienced anything else? Are you choosing overthinking, over-explaining, over-committing? Because peace feels too quiet, too foreign, too scary. Maybe the problem isn't that you don't have peace. Maybe the problem is that peace feels unfamiliar, so you keep sabotaging it. You keep inviting chaos because calm feels uncomfortable. You keep chasing stimulation because stillness feels boring. You keep engaging with people who trigger you because peace feels lonely. But here's the deal, you don't grow through chaos, you survive through chaos, you grow through peace. Peace gives you clarity. It helps you make better decisions. It slows down your nervous system. It brings your focus back. And guess what? That means some people won't like the new you, the you that doesn't argue, the you that doesn't chase, the you that doesn't explain herself to people committed to misunderstanding her, the you that lets go instead of clinging, the you that prioritizes alignment over approval. That version of you will make people uncomfortable, but it will give you your life back. Peace isn't loud, it doesn't beg. It doesn't demand, it doesn't prove. Peace doesn't show up with a megaphone. It shows up when you stop engaging with what drains you, when you stop needing closure from people who never offered respect, when you stop giving your power to people who only create confusion. Peace shows up when you finally realize that your energy is your responsibility, and it's not owed to anyone who destabilizes your spirit. Let me tell you what peace looks like in action. It looks like taking a break before reacting to that text. It looks like choosing not to attend that event that will leave you drained. It looks like blocking the number that keeps disturbing your mental health. It looks like waking up early to meditate, journal, breathe, because your mind matters more than your notifications. It looks like removing yourself from spaces where your value isn't recognized. It looks like saying no without explaining, saying yes without guilt, saying nothing when silence says it all. You don't have to defend your peace to people who never protected it. You don't have to make people understand why you need time, space, distance, rest. You're allowed to protect what keeps you sane, even if others call it selfish. Because let's be real, some people are only comfortable when you're overwhelmed. Some people only feel powerful when you're doubting yourself. Some people benefit from your chaos. So when you start choosing peace, they'll call you distant, cold, difficult. Let them. Their labels don't define your journey. Peace will cost you something. It might cost you connections built on dysfunction. It might cost you the identity you created to survive. It might cost you the role you played in someone else's story. But what you gain is worth more clarity, confidence, consistency, and calm. You gain a deeper relationship with yourself. You gain presence. You gain freedom from cycles that kept you stuck for years. Every single day you get a choice. You get to choose your attitude. You get to choose your reactions. You get to choose what matters and what doesn't. You get to choose whether you spiral or breathe, whether you hold on or release, whether you chase or allow, whether you fight for your peace or keep giving it away for free. And listen, you won't always get it right. You'll lose your temper, you'll get caught up, you'll fall back into patterns. But when you do, come back to your peace, come back to your breath, come back to your truth, come back to the present moment, because peace only lives in the now. You can't have peace if your mind is stuck in the past. You can't feel peace if you're obsessing over the future. Peace doesn't come when you finally figure everything out. It comes when you accept that you don't have to. It comes when you surrender the illusion of control and embrace the reality of choice. Every thought is a choice. Every boundary is a choice. Every moment you say, "This doesn't belong in my spirit," that's a choice. And over time, those choices become a life. So make the choice even if no one around you is. Make the choice even if it feels lonely at first. Make the choice even when your emotions scream louder than your logic. Because the more you choose peace, the more you become it. The more you choose calm, the more your nervous system resets. The more you choose clarity, the more you attract people and situations that align with it. Peace isn't the reward for surviving life. It's the tool that helps you thrive through it. It's not waiting for you to deserve it. It's waiting for you to choose it. So stop letting people, problems, or the past decide how you feel inside. Stop outsourcing your peace to situations you can't control. Start choosing peace like your life depends on it, because it does, and once you realize that, no one can take it from you again. Let's get something straight right now. Silence is not a punishment. Distance is not revenge. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are tools. They are mechanisms of self-respect, clarity, and healing. And if someone has told you that your silence is manipulative, that your space is overreacting, or that your boundaries are unreasonable, chances are they're the very person who benefited from you not having any. Silence is powerful. It's not the absence of communication. It's the presence of reflection. It's where healing begins. It's where you stop reacting and start thinking. It's where you learn that you don't owe everyone an answer, a defense, a reply, or your energy. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing, because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your process. Not everyone has earned the right to hear your story. Not everyone needs to be brought into your storm when all they did was contribute to it. Distance is not bitterness, it's wisdom. You don't keep touching a hot stove after it's burned you. You step back, you give it space, you learn the lesson. It's the same with people. When someone constantly crosses your lines, when they make you question your worth, when their presence leaves you feeling small, confused, or exhausted, choosing distance is not a petty move. It's a survival instinct. It's how you regain your perspective, it's how you reset your nervous system, and it's how you remind yourself that peace is your responsibility. Now boundaries, they're not walls, they're gates, and you get to decide who gets in. They are not about keeping people out, they are about keeping yourself safe, about protecting your time, your energy, your mind, your heart. Boundaries are the declaration that your needs matter, that your well-being is not up for debate, that your space, your emotional safety, your schedule, your priorities, they all deserve protection. And here's the truth. People who benefit from you having no boundaries will always be the first to say you're being too much, the moment you put some in place. But that's not your problem, that's theirs. It's not your job to make other people comfortable at the expense of your own sanity. It's not your responsibility to water yourself down so someone else can stay emotionally lazy. You don't have to explain yourself to people who have never tried to understand you. You don't have to justify your silence to people who only listen to respond, not to understand. You don't owe anyone access to the version of you that didn't know how to say no. And let me tell you something else. Your silence is not a weakness. Your decision to walk away is not a flaw. Your choice to protect your peace is not something to feel guilty about. In a world that pushes constant noise, relentless communication, and performative vulnerability, choosing silence is radical. It's intentional. It says, I will not argue with someone committed to misunderstanding me. I will not beg for closure from someone who's already closed the door. I will not drain my energy trying to fix something that was never mine to carry. You are allowed to stop talking to people who trigger you. You are allowed to remove yourself from spaces that feel unsafe. You are allowed to change your number, deactivate your account, or disappear for a while if that's what healing requires. You are allowed to protect your soul. Because what good is a loud voice if the heart behind it is broken? What good is constant contact if it's costing you your clarity? We've been conditioned to think that distance equals drama, that silence is passive-aggressive, that boundaries are rude. That's the lie. The truth is, constant access is not love. Oversharing is not connection, and tolerating disrespect in the name of being the bigger person is not strength. Real strength is knowing when to let go, when to pause, when to protect your own inner world from people who only bring storms into it. You don't need to send the long text. You don't need to explain for the 100th time why something hurts. You don't need to exhaust yourself proving your worth to someone who refuses to see it. That's not love, that's emotional labor, and labor without reward leads to burnout. You can love someone deeply and still choose to love them from afar. You can forgive someone completely and still decide not to invite them back into your life. You can be kind and still enforce hard lines. Silence, distance, and boundaries, they're how you end the cycle. The cycle of overgiving, the cycle of being the fixer, the cycle of always being the one who holds it together, the cycle of giving chance after chance until you're the one left shattered. You don't owe it to anyone to stay in a dynamic that drains you. You owe it to yourself to heal, grow, and guard your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Some people are only comfortable with you when you're small, when you're uncertain, when you're in need of their approval. But the moment you start growing, the moment you find your voice, the moment you say enough, they label it as coldness, as arrogance, as punishment. Don't take the bait. Don't let their discomfort trick you into shrinking again. You're not being cold, you're being clear. You're not punishing them, you're prioritizing yourself, and there is nothing wrong with that. You are not responsible for how someone reacts to the boundary they forced you to set. You are not responsible for their version of the story. You are not required to maintain access to people who consistently make you question your value. What you are responsible for is protecting your heart, your purpose, your peace. And sometimes that means going quiet, sometimes that means creating distance, sometimes that means saying no more without a dramatic explanation. Let them think what they want. Let them call you selfish, cold, difficult, too much. The people who truly love you will understand. They won't need constant access to feel connected. They won't trip you into emotional submission. They won't push past the lines you draw. They'll respect your silence. They'll honor your space. They'll appreciate your boundaries because they'll know. It's not about shutting them out. It's about keeping yourself together. And if someone walks away because you decided to stand up for yourself, let them go. That was never real love. That was control. That was convenience. That was conditional. The kind of love that lasts is the kind that thrives with honesty, space, and self-respect. So don't bend to keep someone. Don't break to hold on. Don't let the fear of being misunderstood rob you of your right to peace. Silence is where the noise ends and the truth begins. Distance is where the chaos settles and clarity returns. Boundaries are where the cycles break and healing starts. You are not being too much for choosing these tools. You are being brave. You are being wise. You are being exactly who you need to be to grow into the next version of yourself. You are not here to carry everyone else's emotions while ignoring your own. You are not here to be everything to everyone while losing yourself in the process. You are not here to keep earning your worth through people who never saw it in the first place. You are here to live in peace with clarity and with self-respect, and that means making choices that protect your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, even when others don't understand. Let your silence speak for you. Let your distance protect you. Let your boundaries honor you. You don't need to explain, defend, or debate. You need to choose peace over and over again until it becomes the standard, not the exception. Because the most powerful thing you can do in a world full of noise, chaos, and distraction is protect your inner world like it's sacred, because it is.